Hi, my name is Stephen Rosenberg, and hold on, I'm going to start that again. Hi, Stephen Rosenberg here, and welcome to Influencer Media Podcast. As you see, I have my guest on again. What we decided to do this time was actually do a follow-up to our last message. I think that we touched on due diligence last time, and what I thought would be really valuable, and so did he, is that we come back and talk about some horror stories and things so that you guys can learn what to avoid. Thank you so much for being on the show again. Why don't you just remind the audience, who you are, who you're with, and your expertise.
All right, yeah, Brandon Skidmore. I'm with Black Hat Consulting. I do real estate consulting on investor deals as well as just residential and commercial transactions. So
yeah, and so you help a lot of people through this. And one of the conversations that we had was, what did you experience that went bad that you wish you would have known beforehand? And you had some really interesting stories for me. Some we can't talk about on camera, but some that we can. And why don't you kind of tell your story to the world so that they can be better prepared.
All right, so yeah, we really hit on due diligence a lot last time, and even with the best due diligence and you can run all your numbers, you can do everything in your power, but some deals just don't work.
Absolutely.
So there was a deal. It was a lake deal out on in East Texas, and I beat the due diligence into the ground. I went and I actually even paid extra money to get an appraisal done on it.
Really?
What
does that cost?
$400, $500 bucks. Just because I wasn't very familiar with that area, and we talked a lot about working in areas last time. So this was a little outside of my comfort zone, but with the price that they wanted to sell it for, and based on the appraisal that I got back, I ran my comps, I talked to realtors, I talked to locals, I talked to everybody I could get a hold of out there, because I knew some people that had lake houses out there.
Okay.
Looked at rental possibilities, all that stuff, and everything looked good on that deal.
Really?
I mean,
everything. There was no red flags. There's nothing.
No, but for whatever reason, that market just went dry. And right at the time I was buying this house.
So you bought the property. You had already done all your due diligence. Felt good about doing the property. And then.
Yeah, and then nothing. I had to hold it for over a year and had to sell it at a discount. I lost some significant money on that deal, and it was a deal that I probably shouldn't have gone into because it wasn't an area that I knew really well. But having done deals in various cities, up in Dallas, this is not far outside of Dallas. I've done them in San Antonio, Houston. I was getting, and even in Louisiana, I was getting pretty confident at being able to knock these deals out. But lakes are different.
Apparently, right.
And so, it was just a deal that, even the multiple realtors that I talked to out there, like, oh, you should be able to sell that, in 3 to 4 months. Because the season was coming up, the people want to move out there. And, we got out there and there was just, it was like crickets.
Really?
A few people came to view the house, but nobody, it wasn't just that house. That whole section of the lake was dead. Nobody was buying out there. And it was just a random, weird thing. And, we finally just, had to offload it. But, it was one of those deals the key lesson is to stay in the bigger metros where there's a lot more traffic.
Okay.
Where you don't get, into those kinds of situations where the market just dries up for some unknown reason. And then also, even if you do all your due diligence, a deal can still not work out the way you expect. So, the way to offset that, and the way that I got through that was I had other deals. I was continuing my marketing. I didn't just take a deal, try to get it to completion, and just focus on that deal. I kept my marketing going. I was pursuing other deals. So then by the end of the year, even though I had a loss on that property, I had other deals to offset that.
Okay.
And I got to use it as a tax write-off, fortunately.
Yeah, that's very lucky.
But if you just shut down and focus on one, that can really put you in a bind. And I know some investors do that because of lack of time.
Right. So, very important lesson is continue to keep those balls in the air. Keep going forward no matter what. Do as much due diligence as you can, but at the end of the day, be prepared for
I mean, it's at some level it's an art rather than a science.
Right.
You know? And things can always change in a market at any given point too. Not necessarily on that particular property, but another property, and this also happened in Houston with the flooding.
Okay.
Properties, the property prices went on a roller coaster after the flood.
Do you have another story that you could share?
Well, we did some deals in Houston after the flood.
Okay.
But we had been doing deals in Baton Rouge where we had, we had experience dealing with floods.
Right.
So we were able to help out with, a lot of that. And, we had data to, show that to the buyers of the properties who were really skittish and not wanting to pay for the properties, that actually the market came back stronger in Baton Rouge after the flood.
Okay.
Rather than, lower. Because the properties, they dive.
Right.
And they're like, well, it's not worth that much anymore. So we're able to show that actually it came back stronger in Baton Rouge.
Okay. Excellent. Do you want to share any other stories or anything like that?
Sorry, throat was a little dry.
No, it's okay.
But those were the key things that we experienced in the last year or so. Okay. On just deals that things could have gone worse for us, but we were able to get out of them because we had checked all our boxes on all the other deals.
And what do you think the most important boxes to check are for people that maybe haven't gone through as many deals as you have?
Right. Just making sure your analysis is complete. That you're
doing analysis.
That you're working with title companies that know what they're doing.
Okay.
Especially if you're going to get into exotic deals like sub-twos and things like that.
Okay.
And then just making sure that you get all the documentation that you need in advance from the homeowner. Because when you get into the sub-twos, you need all that paperwork.
Like what would that be? Can you list off some of that?
You need their mortgage information.
Okay.
Because you're going to assume that mortgage for them. You have to structure your insurance policies correctly. If you don't do that, and somebody makes a claim, and the people aren't listed on the policy as additional insured instead of the insured, the claim's not going to get honored.
Wow.
So there's a lot of different things. So you got to make sure you know exactly what you're doing and work with people that know what they're doing. So I can't tell you all the specifics of the insurance, how it works, but my guy that does the insurance knows it backwards and forwards.
Okay. Yeah. Right.
So that's how we make sure that we're navigating those deals correctly, because those insurance documents are complicated.
Yeah. In and of themselves.
Yeah. So, I let the experts that know the specific, piece of what we're dealing with, I let them handle that, and they always come through, and, I haven't had any issues with that. So it's having a good team in place as well, not just, what you're doing, but also, do everything you can in your power to make sure you set it up correctly and that you get all the paperwork, but then make sure you have a good team in place to support all those, additional steps that can, really cause problems down the road, and that, those problems may be 5, 10 years down the road if you're talking insurance.
Exactly. Well, thank you very much for the advice. I think a lot of people got a lot of value out of that, and we really appreciate it. Do you want to tell people how they can find you?
You can reach me. The best way to reach me is by email at brandon@blackhat.com, and maybe we can display it on the down below. And then also the phone number is 512-233-6650.
Thanks so much.
Thank you.